What's up, you guys? Boris here with another episode of Finance Talk. Thanks to all the loyal subscribers. Thanks for tuning in, you guys. If you like and appreciate the content, please take a moment, hit the thumbs up button, and like and subscribe to the content. Thanks for all your support, you guys. I wanted to post an update today. It's been some time since I posted content. I wanted to put an update in regards to the housing market. What is my opinion on the forward projection of the housing market? I've been speaking to a lot of individuals, and a lot of people of the opinion that there's going to be a spike in foreclosures, and at that point, they're going to be able to snag up some good deals. There is just not enough inventory in the housing market. There's more buyers than there are sellers in this housing market, and as a result, prices have inflated, and it's been a frenzy. It's been a buying frenzy. Everybody wants to lock in a low interest rate. As a result, there's many more buyers flooding the marketplace. However, there's just not enough sellers to accommodate the demand. So as a result, we do have a seller's market. And a lot of people are of the opinion, let me just sit back and wait a little bit longer. And once these foreclosure moratoriums are lifted by the federal government, then there's going to be a flood of foreclosures, there's going to be a flood of cheap inventory, and prices will come down. So I wanted to share my 2 cents about whether I think that there will be, so basically my opinion is there will not be a flood of foreclosures. Recently, the CFPB, the Consumer Finance Protections Bureau, has released a proposal in which they're mandating mortgage servicers to work modifications with homeowners. Basically, if you guys recall this 2008-2009 subprime mortgage crisis, Obama instituted different programs and basically putting a safety net beneath homeowners, in which lenders were required to do these different mortgage workouts with homeowners, in which they were required to do certain different types of modification efforts before a homeowner could be foreclosed upon. So when Biden was elected, I don't really like to talk about politics. I'm really in the middle. I'm just giving you my impartial facts. No political affiliations. I'm not sharing my political opinions. I'm just stating the facts. When Obama was elected, he put a lot of parachutes beneath homeowners, and he instituted programs like HARP and HAMP, the Home Affordability Refinance Program and the Home Affordability Modification Program. And these are programs in which were designed to help homeowners to stay in their homes. Servicers were required to work with homeowners to try out these different modification programs and workouts or refinances before they could foreclose on the property. Only if they had exhausted these options, only could they then foreclose on the homeowners, which gave homeowners a lot more time and a lot more options. If they weren't eligible, at least they were then given more time to stay in their homes while they worked these processes out. If they were unsuccessful in achieving a modification or refinance, for instance, if it was deemed unaffordable, perhaps they were unsuccessful, but they still gained a lot of additional time in their homes. So these are really effective programs. When Biden was elected, I kind of anticipated these same type of programs coming to fruition. So most recently, in early April, the CFPB, the Consumer Finance and Protections Bureau, has made a proposal to institute programs very similar to HARP and HAMP, the legacy programs that had since expired. I'm going to go ahead and share a screenshot with you guys of the proposal. And at this point, it's only a proposal, but I do anticipate this becoming law very soon. And this will basically restrict the number of foreclosures hitting the marketplace. There will still be foreclosures, but homeowners are going to have to go through these processes, these modification processes, which will give them more time. And if they aren't eligible for these programs, perhaps they'll end up in foreclosure. But this is going to drastically slow down the pace in which we see an influx in foreclosures. People are going to be working these programs, and if they aren't successful, only then will they go to foreclosures. So I don't see a big rush in supply. I don't see a big influx in supply of cheap homes hitting the marketplace. I don't see prices bottoming out. What I do see happening is perhaps the pace of inflation slowing down. So we've seen a really rapid rise in the pricing of homes. I don't see prices crashing. What I see is the price of appreciation slowing down and then allowing for the pace of income growth to catch up. So a lot of people are fearful. Okay, prices are so high, but okay, at the very least, mortgage rates are low. But low rates are not sustainable. Eventually, the Fed will be forced to increase rates. But prices maybe will come down slightly, but I don't see prices crashing. So prices will remain high, but rates will be creeping back up. As a result, homeownership will become unaffordable. So this is always a delicate balance. It's supply and demand. It's a scale, right? it needs to go one way or the other. So if homeownership becomes unaffordable, of course prices will come down. That's just a natural dynamic of supply and demand, because there will be no demand if prices become too high and unaffordable. In my opinion, what I see taking place is a gradual, steady growth in wage growth in our country. We've been seeing inflation. Undeniably, we've been seeing inflation. The Fed has been stating that these inflation fears are transitory, meaning it's only temporary due to supply chain issues. We have supply chain issues as a result of COVID. The Fed is saying these are only temporary issues. We're having trouble getting goods delivered because truck drivers weren't working, people weren't on the roads. So these are supply chain issues. The Fed is saying these are only temporary issues which will resolve themselves. They don't see sustained inflation. I'm of the opinion that we will see a gradual uptick in inflation, but then if we do see a sustained inflation, we will also see sustained wage growth. When we begin to see sustained wage growth and interest rates are ticking up, inflation is increasing, so we have sustained wage growth. The uptick in interest rates will not become will not make homeownership more expensive. It'll stay kind of in pace. As wages grow, the prices of homes will grow. And I don't mean the price of home, but what I mean is the interest rates. As interest rates uptick, which makes homes more expensive, we will see also an uptick in wage growth, is what I believe. And so the pace of inflation in the real estate market will become sustainable. It'll become more gradual. We've seen too much appreciation too quickly during COVID. And I don't see a crash in the marketplace. I see a slowing down and a continued gradual increase in price appreciation that is more sustained, that will be in line with wage growth. Okay, so let's jump into the proposal with the CFPB, what they're proposing, and let me go over it with you guys. Alright, you guys, let me share with you what I'm looking at. So this is a Consumer Finance and Protections Bureau. They basically regulate all kind of consumer lending. It doesn't apply to commercial lending. So if you're a business applying for a loan, these protections are for consumers only. So CFPB proposes mortgage servicing changes to prevent a wave of COVID-19 foreclosures. The date of this article is April 5th. This is right on the CFPB consumerfinance.gov. You can retrieve this information. Just Google, if you want to read it for yourself, just Google CFPB mortgage servicing proposals COVID-19, something with a string of words, you'll find it. So they're looking to give borrowers time. Every one in nearly 3 million borrowers is behind in their mortgage. Let's get to statistics. As of February 21, there's nearly 3 million homeowners behind in their mortgages, with an estimated 2.1 million in forbearance, at least 90 days delinquent. If current trends continue, 1.7 million such loans will be in this situation September 2021. Preventing foreclosures. Foreclosures are expensive for homeowners, obviously. And it causes homeowners to lose value. It causes the neighborhood to devalue, dropping prices by 1% to 1.6% of nearby homes. Families who endure a foreclosure are likely to suffer harm. That's common sense. They're saying this foreclosures also deepen racial inequality. They're finding studies in racial inequalities in foreclosure rates. And that's not surprising, to be honest. All right, so let's jump into the proposal. This is kind of like a quick facts check. So what they have here is two links. They have here like a very thorough explanation, and they have a quick fact check. I'm just going to go over the quick fact check with you guys really quickly. So Regulation X, I'll bring that to your attention. If you guys are interested in all these regulations having to do with protections for borrowers pertaining to mortgage servicing rules, Regulation X. Also Regulation Z. Those are the two rules. You'll find all the different protections. So if you want to do more due diligence, I have some background in working mortgage modifications for clients. So I'm very familiar with modifications. I'm very familiar with Regulation X. And Regulation Z I'm familiar with. If you guys wish to do more due diligence, please read into Regulation X and Regulation Z. So basically, I have to read through this myself. But basically, listen, I'm going to summarize this for you guys because I know what they're looking for. A modification. This is what a modification is. They're trying to make your payments affordable. In order to make your payments affordable, they could do one of basically three things. They could try to re-amortize your loan from a 30-year to a 40-year loan. They could lower your rates. And also, if you own arrears, they could take that arrears and put it on the back end as a balloon payment. So basically, the rationale in the balloon payment is that you'll have equity as you pay down your loan. And so if you have a $30,000-$40,000 arrears, and it becomes like, so oftentimes they'll record it as a second lien, a second mortgage. So let's say you have this $40,000 second mortgage sitting on your home. The rationale is taking the arrears and putting it on the back end as a balloon payment or a second mortgage is in that you'll have equity many years down the road, and you'll be able to refinance your loan and reamortize that into a new refinance, that balloon payment, or you could sell your home, you have plenty of equity. But that balloon payment shouldn't be a big issue when you have plenty of equity going forward in the near future. However, these different modifications processes in which they work, this reamortizing your loan, lowering the rates, or taking the arrears as a balloon on the back end, these options need to result in your payments becoming affordable. If your payments remain unaffordable, then you won't qualify for a modification. I forget the affordability threshold. I don't remember it off the top of my head. But basically, they take your gross income and they try to do these different workouts to make your payment affordable. If your payment does not result in being affordable, then you won't qualify for a modification. And then you end up basically going into foreclosure. Maybe you want to do a bankruptcy to give yourself to stall for additional time. So basically, in a quick rundown, this is what it's basically stating here in this article. I'm not going to read it to you because I just summarized it. I know what a modification is. So basically, it's called a loss mitigation process. So loss mitigation, aka modifications, you're working a modification with the borrower. So basically what this proposal states is that mortgage servicers will be required to work on modification on your behalf. I think they're stating that they can't initiate foreclosures for 3 months from the date of the expiration. So if finalized, it would only apply until August 31st, 1 year after the proposal, August 31st of 2022. So you have 1 year from August 31st. So basically the foreclosure moratorium is slated to expire August 31st, 2021 is what I believe off the top of my head. So from August 31st, 21 to August 31st, 22, you have 12 months to work on modification. You need to reach out to your servicer and inquire about these loss mitigation options available to you. And they're gonna begin to work the process. It's a very tedious process. You need to send financials. They're gonna ask you a lot of questions. You're gonna send over a lot of documents to them. It's not gonna be approved overnight. If in fact you are qualified, you're gonna get a lower rate. You're gonna get a 40-year mortgage repayment. So you're gonna get to lower your payments even more so. You are gonna build equity slower as a result, of course. It's a give and take. You're going to build equity slower, but you're going to lower your payment. So naturally, it's your decision which route you wish to go. Many people just don't have an option. They can't afford it otherwise. This is their only option. If in fact this is your only option, this is a great option available to you that the federal government is rolling out. It's also preserving the price of homes in your neighborhood. All your neighbors' real estate valuations will drop. Their home worth will drop as a result of a big uptick in foreclosures. So this is preserving neighborhoods. This is preserving the value of homes in your neighborhood. This is preventing a big influx in foreclosures. This is giving options to people who have limited options. This is a great proposal. Let me jump back into full screen, you guys. So I did run really quickly through what a mortgage modification entails. I know it wasn't very detailed and it was very quick. If anybody out there is in a difficult situation where they're behind on their mortgage and they just want to bounce a question off of me, by all means I'm available. Just hit me on YouTube, whatever, send me a message. I'll try to respond to anybody. You don't have to be local to me. It could be really nationwide. The rules are federal law, so they're standard nationwide. And maybe I could even find a referral for you guys, an attorney that could work on modification for you guys. Bear in mind, if you retain an attorney to run a modification for you, it isn't cheap. You are able to do these processes on your own. You simply need to reach out to your servicer and inquire about loss mitigation options available to you. And I encourage you guys to do your due diligence, read into Regulation X, Regulation Z. These are the protections available to borrowers so the mortgage servicers do not take advantage of your rights. So know your rights. And so I shared with you guys my opinion on where the real estate market is heading. I don't see a drastic drop in real estate values because I don't see a huge influx of foreclosures hitting the marketplace due to these regulations coming out by the CFPB. They're gonna keep there will be a increase and there will definitely be an uptick in foreclosures, but it's not going to be overnight. It's not going to be as soon as August 31st, 2021, when the foreclosure moratoriums end. It's not going to be instantaneous. These CFPB proposals are proposed to be slated to last 12 months. So, like I said, the proposals, there's going to be a variation of this coming out into becoming a final law. So, as a result of these proposals, real estate values will be gradually increasing. They're not going to drop. They're not going to continue to skyrocket as they have in the past 12 to 14 months. The pace of real estate inflation in the past has been unsustainable. At this point, it's going to slow down. We're going to see a continued uptick in valuations. My opinion is we're going to see a continued uptick in wage growth. And then as interest rates begin to increase, the Fed will eventually increase rates. The pace of increasing interest rates will coincide with the pace of increasing wages. And home ownership will not become unaffordable. It'll remain affordable because there will be continued wage growth in line with the continued increase in the price of home ownership. So that's my opinion, you guys. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace out.